And to put caps on some big executives, big paychecks, and Suzanne, the White House sounding pretty tough about all this.
Well, John, what you're going to see is President Obama as well as the Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner taking on the fat cats. At least that is part of their message today. Within hours here at the White House, they're going to roll out these new restrictions for CEOs' salaries, essentially saying that these banks that have received these huge taxpayer dollars, federal funds, that's our money, essentially, that they're going to be held accountable for how they're actually spending this money, that they'll be responsible about it. And all of this, John, is part of a strategy for President Obama, essentially to show that, look, he wants the American people to be confident in his plan, in his approach, that he's not going to make the same mistakes as the Bush administration and not tracking those dollars. And finally, part of the sales pitch, still trying to put forward that $900 billion economic stimulus package, which he wants Americans to believe, taxpayers to believe, that that is the right approach in fixing the economy. John?
All right. Suzanne Malveaux at the White House for us. Suzanne, stand by. We want to come right back to you. Let's bring in Christine Romans now. Now, according to the White House, it's banks that receive, quote, exceptional assistance that are subject to these rules. Do we know what that means?
Oh, I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means if the next kind of round of whatever TARP is going to be, if that would be trigger this, or if it's something beyond that, like AIG and Citigroup.
Is there a dollar figure?
Or Bank of America. No, you know, we just don't know what that means yet, but we're going to find out more about it at 11 o'clock. But what this means, bottom line, is that the United States government is taking a hand in setting the pay in private industry. They don't want to nationalize the banks, but they don't want to just give the banks all this money and let them spend it on executive compensation if that's the way it goes. So a $500,000 cap on the salary of the top person at any bank, or presumably an auto company or any other kind of company that's going to have to take money from the government. And then restricted stock, they can get restricted stock, but they can't cash it in until the government is paid back first, until shareholders are paid back first for any of the loans. So the idea here, I mean, this is remarkable, everybody. We have the United States government setting pay in private industry. This is what's happened. And Keir made a really good point.
It's not private industry anymore.
If you take these huge loans,
if you take these
huge loans, you know, you are basically, the United States government is a big shareholder. Now, a side note here, Wells Fargo actually made its first interest payment this week. $300 million taxpayers are paid back in interest from a big investment that the United States government made into Wells Fargo. So this thing is, you know, we are investors, and so it looks like, you know, at least some of that money is starting to come back to the tune of interest. But you know, this is remarkable stuff here. It's chilling. People on Wall Street are just, they can't believe it. Yeah. A lot of things have changed.
And bound to change more. Christine, thanks. President Obama and Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner will make the announcement on executive compensation 11 o'clock Eastern this morning. You can watch it live on CNN and CNN.com.